Hello and welcome to another edition of the Josh Hose Show. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, and with me is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Josh Hose. We want to thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. And Josh, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you with us. Your Tigers are now 15-4 after picking up a couple of wins in the last week. Let's start with last night's 62-57 win over Hoover in the Tiger Gym. Another quality win against a pretty good Vikings team.
Obviously the 5 seed ahead of us in the tournament, and our guys are pretty motivated going into it. Anytime we're playing a local team, we've talked about that before. That added motivation. You could tell they're ready to go. We had a great practice going into it, and I think it's a good momentum builder for the tournament. Going into that game didn't really have any bearings. We're not in the league, and it's not a tournament. It doesn't change anything that happens with the tournament as far as seeding. So we talked to the guys about more of just a confidence builder, a momentum builder type thing, and our guys responded really well and beat a quality Hoover team.
Now, last weekend you had one game postponed and you picked up a win over previously undefeated Ridgewood. We'll talk about the Ursuline postponement in a minute here, but tell us more about the win over undefeated Ridgewood at the time.
Well, Ridgewood come in 19-0, and we knew they were pretty good because they called for a game. If a small school calls you or somebody calls you for a game, usually they're desperate or they're pretty good, and I knew that they were probably going to be good when we scheduled it, but I didn't know they'd be undefeated. So they come in, and I was really impressed the way our kids responded. Again, kind of like last night, they made a run and cut it to like 5. And our guys, responded, and we put a nice run together to go and close out and win by 20. So another one of those confidence builders, beat a quality opponent. Just added to the resume type thing, and one of those games that you play a different style. And I think I talked to people like somebody asked me after the game, like, playing a smaller school, does that bother you? I said, basketball's so funny that way, because like football or some of these sports, you have to keep snapping the ball, you have to keep running plays. Basketball, you can hold the ball, you can stall, you can do different things that can manipulate the ball, game. Mm-hmm. And if you have 5 kids that can really play and know how to play together, in a lot of smaller schools, you'll get a group of seniors that play together for 3 or 4 years on the varsity level. It doesn't matter as much with the size of the school. So we challenged our guys to come in and play it like they were playing a quality opponent, and they did. They played really well.
If you had to single out one area you've seen this team improve in the most since the start of the season, what would that be?
I would say our resilience. Early in the year when things weren't, we had a couple games where things weren't going our way and we just fell apart. And some of that was immaturity as a team, not like individuals, but as a team, we hadn't really developed that yet because, lack of a preseason, and we were still learning on the fly. I think the last couple of games have shown, even when the shots aren't falling or when things aren't going our way, we've been able to bounce back from that. We've been able to keep ourselves in the game. We've been able to make a run. All that stuff that we weren't able to do at the beginning of the year because we just maybe didn't have confidence in each other, ourselves. We hadn't developed that yet. And it takes a while to kind of get that cohesion and that trust.
We'll talk more with Coach Hose, and we'll visit with a Tiger player in just a moment. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar-ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
And thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Josh Hose Show. Our Tiger player joining us this week is senior Jaden Stock. Jaden, welcome.
Welcome.
Jaden, you had 21 points and grabbed 10 rebounds last night in the big win over Hoover. Nice win for the team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
All right, so as one of 3 seniors on this year's team, how do you feel about your senior season kind of winding down, coming to a close?
Well, I'm getting sad a little bit because I don't want it to end, but it's been a great season.
What's been the key for this team that has led to the 15 wins so far?
Definitely defensive energy. I mean, when we have it, we look really good, and when we don't, we don't look too good.
Jaden, you lead the team in rebounding, and obviously you're not a real tall guy. How do you overcome the size disadvantage each time?
It's all heart and hustle, and I position myself really good.
What are some of the areas of your game you worked on the most in the offseason?
Definitely catch and shoot, dribble drive action, passes, and everything else.
And then coming into this season, what kind of personal goals did you set for yourself?
I wanted to become a more vocal leader And through practice and games, I feel like I've accomplished that.
And finally, after high school, what kind of plans do you have for your future?
I don't know what college yet, but I want to major in like early childhood education or something, like work with kids.
Thank you. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Coach, I know you have a close relationship with this young man. It's no secret. What has Jaden meant to the basketball program, both as a person and a player, the last 2 seasons?
Well, I mean, he's been huge to our program. I would say personally, for me, starting a program out, I've been blessed to have a kid like Jaden to build it with. And just like he said, all heart. And I think that's, I've always valued as a coach as the kids that are, passionate and play hard and play with huge, not chip on their shoulder, but just that toughness. And I look at this kid and it's like, man, that's one of the most well-respected kids I've ever coached, between his teammates, his opponents, people in the stands. I mean, come up like, that kid, I just saw somebody on Twitter said, pound for pound, the best rebounder I've ever seen. And they're not lying. And so, but people respect hard work. They respect the fact that he leads with he's talked about being a more vocal leader. Well, he can do that because he leads by example. And we've talked about that before, the value of backing up what you're saying. And so, I mean, if you do it, then nobody can question him if he's challenging somebody to work harder in practice or do the little things better because he's doing it himself. So, on top of him being a great kid, he's just a great teammate and a great player. Like I said, we're very blessed to have him in our program.
Your Tigers have 3 more games left in the regular season. This Thursday night, you're home against Youngstown Ursuline. Now, this game was rescheduled after it was canceled last Friday night. And if I know you, I'm sure you're happy to be able to get this game in.
Yeah, we wanted to play it because it's a quality opponent. And they're kind of get ready for the tournament. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. I think when it got canceled on Friday, we wanted to play, but then you're like, okay, well, we'll get ready for a Ridgewood undefeated team coming in. So, maybe it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise that way. We could be rested going into that game. But now, we're coming in a short rest, so we'll have a real short practice today, take care of our bodies and get ready to go. Hopefully the weather holds out.
Right.
I know that's a possibility, but we can't control that, so we're going to focus on getting ready for Ursuline on Thursday. And, like I said, this time of year, the kids, they want to play. Practice to go do so many drills. Yeah, they're at the point where they want to play, and so our job as coaches is to balance that work, prep and rest, because I think our guys really, with having the football guys having a long season, like we need to have that good balance.
Then this Saturday night, your team has a long road trip playing at Toledo Waite. How did this matchup come about, and what do you know about the Indians?
So Waite last year called us when we needed games, and the agreement was they would come to us last year and we would go there this year. So that's a 2-year deal, and our guys are excited. We're getting a charter bus, and we're going to take a road trip and go up there and play a foreign opponent in the sense that don't know a whole lot about them. We're trying to find some info on them. Due to scheduling, we haven't been able to get out and scout them, so we got some film. They're struggling a little bit, so it's a game we're going to have to go in and have focus. Those are the games you have to really focus in on and play well. But it was kind of interesting because Coach Patches got a phone call and said, "Hey, would you want to do this?" And like I said last year, we needed games, so we said sure. And that's kind of how the Ridgewood game came into fruition. It was we needed games, so we just started scheduling them. As an independent, you take them when you can get them.
Right. Then next Tuesday, you're home against Warren Harding in your team's final regular season game. Your team lost to them earlier in the season at Harding. What do you remember most about that first meeting back on December 30th?
Well, I guess I was just talking to somebody in the hallway today. I said, no more Monday games for one thing. We played Perry on Monday. I think we had Warren on Monday. But no, I remember we went up there. We played. It was kind of a sloppy game. We just looked tired. It was that point of the season. I think I looked the other day. We had as our 6th game. We had 12 practices as a team in at that point with the current roster. So I think we went in there, and they're athletic, they're long. We turned the ball over a little bit. We were still close. I think we were down. Jaden hit a 3, I think, right before halftime, or Luke Sabo hit a 3 right before halftime, and he pulled us within 2 or 3. And they came out and they threw a haymaker at us right out of the gates in the second half, and we just never recovered from that. And I think we've grown a lot as a team since then. So that would be a fun thing to see how we've developed and evolved as a team as we play them, kind of bookending our season, playing them early, and then again another tournament, because they'll be very similar to a team we could run into down the road in the McKinley that's in our bracket. So we're looking forward to that one.
And that's going to be on WHS-TV.
Awesome.
All right, finally, the Division I Sectional District Tournament drawings took place last Sunday. Your Tigers were voted the 7th seed and will play at home against 10th seeded Jackson on Wednesday, February 26th. What are your thoughts on the seedings and the idea of facing Jackson in the opening round?
Well, we weren't thrilled with our seed, to be honest, but at the same time we knew. People asked me where I thought we'd be. I said anywhere from 4 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you just don't know how teams are going to vote. When you have the human element in there, there's collusion that goes on. There's things that go. I've been in those conversations, and we're an independent, so we had to be real. Like, teams are going to usually vote with their league opponents, and it is what it is. So I think at first, I know I was upset. The team was upset, but then we kind of talked about bitter's not a good look. So. We really focused on the opportunity, and to have a Jackson coming into our gym is fun. It's going to be a great environment. It's a local opponent, and been one of the best teams in the area in the last 20 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you look at all that, it's a great opportunity, more than just being upset. And then obviously with the opportunity to maybe advance, we're going to have to play really well against the Jackson team here. It's going to come in, they're going to be well coached, they're going to play well, and their season's going to be on the line just like ours. So it's going to be a great environment for the fans to watch and our kids to play in.
All right, well, thank you for your time this week.
Definitely.
All right, as we wrap up another edition of the Josh Hose Show, we want to thank Reliable Heating and Cooling for being our show sponsor. And thanks to Coach Hose and Jaden Stock for joining us. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Be sure to join us again next week for another edition of the Josh Hose Show. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our career technical education department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.